Alright guys, I'm going to be doing some test hands with my Punk Kashtira deck. I'm going to shuffle up and we'll get right into it. Alright, the deck's all shuffled up. Let's go ahead and cut and do a test hand. Let's see. Draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not the most ideal hand, I'd say. Seeing how we open Scareclaw Kashtira. But let's see if we can draw and maybe make this hand better later on in the combo. Let's see, to start off with, let's go ahead and normal summon this Yaman and bait out any hand traps. Yaman effect, if it gets negated, it's not that big of a deal because we have E-Telly. But just to play it safe, I'd go ahead and grab a Tune. Alright, next, we'll go ahead and activate E-Telly. E-Telly is going to search for Shirakusai, the fusion guy. Well, special one. Then we're going to pay 6, so we're taking 1200. We're going to fusion summon using 2 punk monsters. It's a Rising Cart. Activate Rising Cart to tag out into 2 more. Wagon and Deer Notes. Go ahead and pay 6, search for the Punk Field Spell. Go ahead and activate the Field Spell. Synchro these 2. Punk Jam Drive. You put it up in the extra monster zone because you want to make sure you have your main zones for later on. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 Deer Note to bring back Shirakusai. But if you want to do like a rank 8 combo, you just bring back like the fusion guy. Go ahead and resolve this. We already paid 6 for it. And we'll grab the Mountain Spider. And since we paid 600 for a Punk Monster effect, we'll activate the Field Spell to draw 1 card. Draw another Xiamen. Here, let's go ahead and we'll banish Rising Carp off the Field Spell to special summon out Mountain Spider. Activate Spider effect to search for trap. Since we paid 6, activate that again, draw 1, draw into Fenrir. Let's see, let's go. And since we did draw into Fenrir, now we can do like more Kashtira combos. So right now we have a Tune, Scareclaw Kashtira, Fenrir, Xiamen, Ash, Theosis, and Imperm. So we'll go ahead and I'd say let's special summon out Scareclaw Kashtira by banishing Fenrir. And here you can't really do anything other than just go ahead and do Kashtira combos because your board's kind of just going to get messed up if you don't. But what you could do here, if you really wanted to, is you can make these 2 into the Punk Dragon guy. Use his effect, bring back Deer Note, and then you can also make a Omega. So just to show you what that would look like, it would be these 2 to this guy. His effects are only once per turn, but he can bring back the Deer Note. And you just use these 2 and make those 2 into Omega. And then like you can rip if you wanted to. But that's just if you wanted to. So for now, we're just gonna like play like this. Because this will let you bounce on your opponent's turn, which is pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and lock ourselves into that Seize Monsters, Theosis target. Special summon our Unicorn in defense. But it does seem like our zones will be pretty clogged. We'll go ahead and activate Unicorn effect to search for Birth. Go ahead and overlay these two. It's not because we're working with such little board space that you need to do this. For Shinger Era. And then we'll activate the Birth. Birth, bring back Fenrir. Fenrir effect to go search. Rise Heart. And then special summon him. And here, you could get rid of the trap. I don't know if it really matters. It's probably better just to get a break out your hand. Yeah, might as well just go ahead and do Big Bang. And then obviously chain 1, chain 2. But here I think I would just add the Kashtira Scare Claw to hand, or the Unicorn. Actually, I'd probably do the Unicorn for better follow-up, and just add it to hand, since obviously we can't special it. And then since Shinger did activate this turn, just slap a Rise Heart up on the field. Then you'd set your Imperm and pass turn. And then on your opponent's turn, and since your zones are filled, this doesn't activate, which means you don't have to worry about them econing and then just like slapping their own Rise Heart on top or anything. So on your opponent's turn, you'll pay sits. These two would get banished. And then you'd special summon out your Punk Dragon. And then he can bounce 1, 2, 3 cards back to the hand. And then obviously you get that to draw 1 card, which would be a Unicorn in this case. And then obviously he would also activate to equip. So yeah, that was just it for a rougher test hand, I'd say. There's definitely better hands you can draw. But yeah, let's jump into another one in a second. Alright, let's go ahead and draw 5. Alright, this looks like a pretty good hand. We started with the Kashtira and the Punk Field spells, which isn't that bad. Here, I'd go ahead and start with Planet, because Unicorn's definitely better to start with than Fenrir. At least going first. Grab Unicorn. Special summon Unicorn, and since we already have the Birth, we're pretty set. So we would grab our 1 copy of Theosis. Alright, here I'm gonna go ahead and activate the Punk Field spell already. And then we're gonna activate Italy. Italy's gonna grab us Xiamen. I'm gonna go ahead and pay sits. We're gonna search for Fatsi-tune. And then back to the combo before, since we paid 600, activate field spell to draw 1 card. Go ahead and draw 1. Draw into an Imperm, so great, just another interruption. And the reason why I went for Fatsi-tune instead of just the other guy I needed is because I'm gonna go Fatsi-tune effect. I'm actually gonna go ahead and pitch this Fenrir. Actually, let me think. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead and pitch the Fenrir. Bring out this guy. Activate his effect. Fusion Summon, pay 6. Field spell effect, I'll get the draw one. Draw into an Ash. Go ahead, tag him out. Bring out our Deer Notes. And our Trap Person, because Wagon's kind of useless since we already have Field Spell. Go ahead and activate. Grab the trap. Synchro these guys. Jam Dragon Drive. And go chain 1, chain 2. Good bring back in this situation, probably. You can go for Hope for an 8. Or we can go for the bounce play. I'd probably go ahead and grab Wagon just because it's kind of breaking our hand now. Go ahead after field spell to banish the special. Go ahead and make these two into Baron. Which you could have done a play like this a long time ago, but I just kind of seeing where our hand was going. That way you wouldn't lose out to Nib. Go ahead and make Birth. Birth effect, bring out your Unicorn. You already used Unicorn's effect this turn, so that doesn't really matter to us. But we're going to go ahead and use Theosis, targeting Unicorn, bring out our Fenrir. Fenrir effect to add, and then it's just the same in combo with the Rise Heart. You might just think it's like Kashtira with like an extra Omni, but like it helps you so much breaking boards and stuff too, especially since Psychic and Punisher is such a good card. Go ahead and overlay. Or if you really want to, you can just hard make your Rise Heart. But I like this because it's kind of hard to out and it can easily turn to Zeus and stuff. Special. You already know the banish line, or you can banish a monster since we do have Birth. Doesn't matter too much. Go ahead and banish that. And usually I do just go ahead and re-special summon the Fenrir, just so that way it's another interruption on my opponent's turn. And then obviously we activated Shanger Era. Go ahead and slap that guy up there. And then we have 2 Imperms and an Ash. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This tags out into a 6, 7, 8, 9. And then if you count this, that's 10 interruptions at least. Yeah, that's pretty cracked. Let's go ahead and get into test hand number 3. All right, let's go ahead and cut. And draw our 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting hand. Let's see what we can do with it. Field spell, activate, go search. Search for unicorn. Special effect. And obviously the China didn't permit or anything. We did have the lance at the time. Here, you're gonna have to sacrifice one of your cards for Fatsu. I'd probably, as much as it hurts, I'd probably do Lance. So Fatsu effect, pitch Lance. Go for Xiamen. And you're gonna see why in a sec. Go for Xiamen. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna have to terraforming. We're gonna search for the Punk Field spell because we obviously need to start drawing some good cards to stay in the game. Go ahead and activate that. Now we're gonna pay 6 to go search for a monster. And in this case, it's gonna be Shirakusai. And since we activated a punk monster effect and paid 6, go ahead and draw one. We drew into birth, which is pretty good. We don't have an extra tuner we can spare or a punk monster, so we can't go ahead and make Baron right now. So we're gonna go ahead and activate field spell to special by banishing. And that's why we did it that way. Oh, we can go ahead and make these two into our fusion guy. And then since we paid 6, go ahead and draw again. Draw into another unicorn, not very good. Go ahead and tag out. And we still have a normal summon, so that's still good. I don't know why I tagged out and started going through my extra deck. Tag out into Mammoth Spider, because the effect's still relevant. And Deer Note. Go ahead and pay 6, search for the Imperm spell. Or if you really wanted to, you can go ahead and kind of made this another level 3 tuner. That way you can go ahead and make these two into like a 10, and like you can make multiple 10s this turn if you wanted to. Go ahead and make those two. Into that, so chain 1 and then chain 2. We'll bring back out Shirakusai. Then we're gonna add, it doesn't really matter yet, I'm probably gonna add Wagon just for the combo. And here I'm actually just gonna go ahead, normal summon, make those two into our Baron. So now we got that Omni up. And now it's pretty much just free game. Activate our birth. Birth effect to revive back. And it's gonna be the same thing as last time. Dios's target. Fenrir add. Yeah, so it's kind of scary how consistent this deck is. Overlay those two to Kashtira. Special. Banish. Chain 1, chain 2. And then Rise Heart. So we have one less interruption than last time, but that's just because the draw difference. But yeah, the deck's pretty consistent. I mean, it works. There's always a way to get somewhere. I think I'll go ahead and do another test hand just because like I kind of like doing test hands with this deck. So Yeah, catch you guys in a second. Test hand. Go ahead and cut it up. Let's see. Oh, too many. 3, 4, 5. No, this is more like the hands I was getting because this card's always in my hand. Triple Tech is kind of dead at the moment, but it's a good extender. Special Summon Unicorn. Activate Unicorn effect. Alright, Theosis. Here. Oh. Let's go ahead and activate Ogre Dance and grab our Xiamen. Actually, no, let me think. What's the most optimal way to do this? Let's go Foxy Tune effect. Get rid of Big Bang. This card's just kind of dead in your hand. We're actually going to go for a Wagon. Go ahead, paste it, search for the field spell. Activate field spell. Activate Ogre Dance, go search for Xiamen. I personally like to keep my normal summons as long as I can, so I'm going to go ahead and banish the special using the field spell. Go ahead, paste it. Not that it's going to matter because I have to normal summon the Nuts card anyways. Shirakusai. It'd be really nice if we can draw a birth here. Since we paid sets, draw one. Draw into another unicorn. Normal summon. Activate its effect. Paying 6. Since we paid 6, go ahead, draw again. We drew into the birth. I'm so glad that happened. Because now we can go ahead and use these two and make a Baron before we do any other plays. Just in case they're waiting to nib us. Because now they're going to be like, oh god, why did he randomly do that? Let's go ahead and take 2 things out. Or they might try to like imperm hand trap or interrupt us right now. Or like imperm nib us right now because they're like, oh, he must have nothing else. Yada yada yada. And then we do that. Grab ourselves the spider and our deer note. Activate the spider effect, paste it, go search that. Let's see. Synchro. I think just for something different, this time I will make a Hope Harbinger. Chain 1, pay 6, chain 2, Deer Note. We'll revive back Fatsu Tune. Resolve that. I'd probably just go ahead and grab Ogre, just because like if something happens, it is an interruption. Or if like they negate your Macrocosmos, or you get Dark Lord, it's just another interruption in your hand. Yeah, so if you play against somebody who does play a lot of spells and stuff, I'd just go ahead and make Hope. I tend to use this against like branded players and stuff. And then we simply birth We birth back our unicorn. Target it. And then the rest is history. Actually, it's not. But the only difference this time is that we won't have the Fenrir on board for free because we have already banished our big bane. So these two are really for the sits, or I'm at 7. Add a Rise Heart. I'd go ahead and I'd probably banish something dumb like, I don't know, like the other birth or something, just in case that way if you can get a hold of that card, you can just add more resources back to hand. And then obviously Chain Link 1. Smack down our Rise Heart. And then we have an Imperm. And then say like if they did anything, we have talents, and then we could search for Terraforming as follow-up, set a Imperm. I mean, that's about it for the deck. Or look at your opponent's hand. That's pretty strong. That can help you determine your end board. Or just for the fun of it, let's see what the 2 cards we would draw would be. Ash the Omen. And then that would be like 2 hand traps instead of just 1. But yeah. I mean, that's still 1, 2. This brings out a Fenrir. So 3, 4, 5 interruptions at least. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My bad. And then this as like depend on how the things go. Because on the crackback, I'm sure they can't break like everything, or you can force them to do something with like your unicorn, and then you can take control, something, Zeus the board, you know how it goes. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed some of these combos. I hope I was able to give you a taste of how consistent this deck is, seeing how we made like the same board every single time with like different hands. Yeah, let me know what else you want to see on the channel, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Peace out.